how you work is just as important as what you do. How you do it is just as important. Could you talk a little bit about that?
We had I mentioned that we were working and had been working for some time on strengthening our organizational culture before the Arbinger material came on my radar screen. And one of the things that came out of that was a phrase, a statement, a guidepost, if you will, that was how we do our work is as important as what we do. And that meant to us that the how we were talking about there wasn't the procedures, but the how we were referring to in that statement was how we were with regard to other people, how we regarded the people we worked with, how we saw them, how we treated them. Were they people to us? So that's what the how was. The how was the sort of the cultural way, the relationship way that we dealt with everyone with whom we came in contact. So when we said how we do our work is as important as what we do, we were meaning that those relationships, that culture, that approach to getting the work done, how we actually did it, how we interacted, how we saw others, whether they were employees or others in other agencies or our customers, that was every bit as important as the actual specific tasks that we were doing. And that was once you understood what that statement meant, it's actually a fairly bold statement, and it's one that I found that I thought was perfect because I thought it captured our emphasis and our priority. But I also found that other people, not everybody was buying into that. Not everybody was willing to say, well, I'm not so sure, because they would go to things and say, in a crisis, you can't worry about this, you can't worry about people, you can't worry about this kind of stuff, you have to get the job done. And so it was interesting to see how that statement, which was so clear to us about what it meant, would cause other people to resist a little bit and say, well, I'm not too sure I'm buying into that. And, invariably, whenever I would have an opportunity to discuss that statement with somebody who would have that reaction, I would find that they would be focusing on the fact that it sounded like we were suggesting that you couldn't make something a priority when getting the job done needed to be a priority in the short term. We weren't saying that at all. When we were saying how we do our work is as important as what we do, we were talking about the long term, the big picture, over an extended period of time. And there, I think, you can't really make the argument, or at least you can't make it persuasively to me. You can try, but you can't really make the argument as successfully that says, we don't have time to worry about that stuff. Actually, I'd go further now that I think about this stuff. Everything leads me to think of something else, Cameron. I'm sorry. But I would go further and say that an organization that views how they do their work as important is actually better positioned to weather the storm. They're better positioned to meet the short-term crisis. They're better positioned to do the things that have to be done when you don't have time to spend as much time on the relationships that particular day or that particular week. So you're creating this climate in which you're better able to move through, get things done when they need to get done. And by golly, there's nothing more important than the task immediately in front of you.